Welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news from the U.S. Forest Service, City Council and Planning Commission news, the latest on the NFL coming to L.A., gas prices, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Thanks for joining us for the news. I'm Tom Wicknick. Here's news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. In a quick message from the U.S. Forest Service, they have announced that they have reopened the Paiute Mountains to the public. This includes the Pacific Crest Trail. These areas were closed during the manhunt for the suspected murderer. Since he was shot and killed over the weekend by sheriff's deputies, the area closure is no longer needed. All areas of the forest are once again open. The Forest Service thanks everyone for assisting us in keeping the public safe. And in news about a startup company in Ridgecrest, we have received this press release. Protexa will join other high-profile tech firms to innovate the U.S. Army's $1.3 billion medical initiatives. Protexa Healthcare, a small minority-owned contractor based in Ridgecrest, California, has announced that it will collaborate with SCRA Applied R&D to create the Medical Technology Enterprise Consortium. The effort will be led by SCRA Applied R&D, which will serve as the prime contractor. At Protexa, we look forward to working with SCRA in assisting the U.S. Department of Defense in achieving the mission of protecting, treating, and optimizing the health and welfare of our troops and veterans. We are proud to be of service to the U.S. military because our proximity to China Lake Naval Weapons Station, California, has created a special bond with the men and women serving the military, said Kishore Joshi, CEO of Protexa. We'll have more on this story tomorrow. In news from Kern County Fire Department, fires continue to burn around the state of California. I'm sure everyone has noticed the smoke in the valley yesterday and even today. This smoke is probably from the Suesta Fire or the Walker Fire up north of us. Kern County Fire is still providing support to all over California. Currently there are 124 Kern County firefighters supporting these incidents. The Suesta Fire has 41 personnel, including a Type 6 strike team with 5 patrols and 17 personnel, a hotshot crew with 19 personnel, and a dozer strike team with 5 personnel. The Rough Fire has 26 personnel, has an OES Type 3 strike team with 11 personnel, and there's an incident management team with 12 people. They also have individual resources deployed. The Mill Fire has 13 personnel, including a crew of the Barker Fire and 5 personnel there. Dozer strike team is also included. Kern County firefighters are also supporting the Mad River Complex, the Fort Complex, Gasquet Complex, South Complex, River Complex, Cabin Fire, Warm Fire, and Humboldt Complex, as well as Helicopter 407 and crew, which include 12 people, are on standby for hoist rescue for the southern region of California out of Visalia Airport. We just received the following report as well. There's another fire that probably contributes to the smoke in the valley. Just after 7:30 p.m. last evening, the Kern County Fire Department received a call for a grass fire on Tejon Ranch, east of Arvin. First arriving crews found approximately 25 acres of burning grass with a moderate rate of spread. Firefighters worked to control the perimeter of the fire. Firefighters were supported by 2 bulldozers and night vision water drops from the Helicopter 408. No structures were destroyed and none were immediately threatened. The fire grew quickly to approximately 200 to 300 acres before firefighters were able to stop the forward progress of the flames. 2 strike teams of hand crews from CAL FIRE, approximately 60 firefighters, have just arrived on scene and will be assisting with strengthening containment lines and mopping up hotspots. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Large transmission lines are within the burn areas. Just yesterday, it is reported that 4 new fires started in California, and officials were gleeful in that only 4 new fires started. So it seems every day the fires expand. We really need some cool weather and some rain. In City Council news, Thursday, the City Infrastructure Committee will meet at 5 p.m. at City Hall Conference Room. Vice Mayor Jim Sanders, Councilman Mike Maurer, and 2 planning commissioners are on this committee. The items on their agenda for discussion are, first, left turn yields at traffic lights; second, update on the newer sewer plant; 3, gray water usage; 4, update on the Downstreet widening project. These are items of huge importance. Committee meetings are a great time for the public to offer comments directly to the council. This is an informal setting and a great time to offer your opinions. If any of those items are of interest to you, plan on attending. And if you're still wondering about farm animals being allowed in the city's residential areas, get ready for next week's Planning Commission meeting. Next Tuesday will be the first meeting where they'll consider their recommendations to the City Council to change the city's municipal code to allow certain farm animals in residential zones within city limits. Farm animals such as chickens and other fowl. The meeting will be next Tuesday, 6 p.m. at City Council Chambers at City Hall. And now an update on the potential of the NFL allowing a team to move to Los Angeles. There was a special owners meeting last week to discuss the Raiders, Chargers, Carson Stadium project to move to LA. Commissioner Ron Goodell said Los Angeles was the only topic of discussion in the meeting. Raiders owner Mark Davis said he is probably done with Oakland and said the presentation for the Carson plan went great. On August 10th, Albert Breer of NFL.com reported on the city officials speaking with NFL prior to Tuesday's meeting. Breer did note there is no meeting scheduled as of yet between NFL and Oakland. The city of San Diego is pushing for January 12th election on a stadium plan. To get that on the ballot by then, the team needs to make a deal with the city by September 11th. The deadline to submit relocation applications is February 15th, but that might move to an earlier date. Teams would want to file as soon as they can, possibly in December if the league allows it. Filing as soon as possible would allow enough time to work out any kinks that might come up in the application process. The league doesn't want it to come down to a vote in which one franchise walks away as a loser. Finding a negotiated solution beforehand would help avoid that. Any new stadium might not be ready until 2018. If a team applied to move next year, it would be a lame duck in its current market and would want to move as soon as possible to start selling itself in the new market. That would mean it needs temporary housing, likely the Coliseum, which is controlled by the University of Southern California. USC is interested, but can only host one NFL team, according to its lease. The Chargers appear certain to apply for relocation to Los Angeles for the 2016 season. It's not because they want to leave San Diego, their home since 1961, but because they think they've practically run out of time to get a stadium deal done there without forfeiting their leverage in Los Angeles. So that's the latest on the NFL coming to LA. I'm sure there's a lot going on behind the scenes on this one. Stay tuned for news from Cerro Costa Community College after the break. Welcome back. In Cerro Costa College news, KZGN field reporter Tanya Pyle submits this report. Keep your eyes peeled for the Cerro Costa Cruising coming up right around the corner on August 28th. That's next Friday evening. Buckle your seatbelt for an evening of cars, trucks, motorcycles, food trucks, music, outdoor movies, and more at Cerro Costa Drive-In. The event happens at 7:30 p.m. next Friday, August 28th, in the parking lot of the Raymond A. McHugh Athletic Complex. The college has teamed up with Going Solo, High Desert Roadrunners, and Sidewinder Motor Clubs to bring together auto and motorcycle enthusiasts for showmanship and fun. All makes, models, and years are welcome to participate. There is a registration fee of $5 to show, and parking starts at 6:30 p.m. We anticipate even more fun for the whole family as the student government of Cerro Costa will be hosting a free showing of the computer-animated comedy adventure Pixar sports film Cars. The movie starts at 8 p.m. in the Sculpture Garden as part of the Cruise-In event. Alcohol and pets will not be permitted, with the exception of service animals, of course. Bring your family, friends, blanket, lawn chairs, and enjoy a unique viewing experience of the popular family-friendly PG-rated movie Cars against the beautiful backdrop of the city. Local food trucks will be on hand to enjoy some of the tastiest food on wheels. Whether you're into hot rods, muscle cars, or anything in between, check out the cool rides on a hot night in the Cerro Costa Cruising on August 28th, next Friday evening. Admission is free. Now here's a reminder from the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter. They want to make sure everyone knows about their current adoption special offer. Adoption fees for cats and dogs at the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter are greatly reduced. Cats and kittens, and boy do they have kittens, are free. Yes, they're free. And dogs are $45 while funds last. This includes all costs. It includes spay or neuter, current vaccinations, a microchip, a license for dogs, and a health exam. This is a fantastic offer. If you've been thinking about adding a new family member, this is a great way to do it. An adoption application must be approved. This special is sponsored by the Indian Wells Valley Humane Society. Go out to the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter out on County Line Road. They're open 5 days per week, Tuesday through Saturday. Now, I always want to remind everyone that coming up in September, we'll be having this year's Veteran Stand Down. This stand down provides veterans needed information about what support and services are available for them and their families. Right now, the committee, guided by Nick and Carol Coy, has over 50 organizations that will be here to provide this assistance to veterans. The stand down will be September 25th. That is a Friday, and it will run all day. If you are a veteran and needing assistance in any area, plan on attending. If you are an organization that may want to set up a booth and provide veteran assistance, contact Nick or Carol as soon as possible. If you'd like to volunteer to help on the day of the event, and they do need volunteers, call Nick or Carol. You can reach them by calling 760-608-1484. Now, in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information on local gas prices, here are today's gas prices. Well, since my last report, I noticed that prices really didn't move at all. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $3.49 to $4.19. Lancaster is ranging from $3.35 to $3.99. The LA Valley area is running $3.53 to $3.69, and the Bishop area is running $3.79 to $3.99. We have 5 stations coming in at the $3.49 figure. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you're helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Now stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Keith for the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, very hot weather is expected to continue across much of the desert southwest, with high temperatures above 100 degrees in some areas. Use extreme caution if participating in outdoor activities. Be sure to drink plenty of water and take frequent rest breaks. Also, air quality will continue to be poor in our area as smoke from the fires up north of us continue to pour in. Health advisories for those with breathing problems. Temperatures across the nation: Carolinas came in at 82, Georgia 81, Arkansas 87, Colorado 52, New Mexico 69, and Los Angeles at 68. And for our forecast heading into the weekend, tonight will be mostly clear with a low around 72, west-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Thursday will be sunny and hot with a high near 106, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Thursday night mostly clear with a low around 72, west-northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday sunny and hot with a high near 103, west wind 5 miles per hour. Friday night mostly clear with a low around 70, west-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. And on Saturday we are looking at sunny and hot with a high near 101, west wind 5 miles per hour. And as a look at your forecast, now back to Tom and the rest of the KZGN News.
Thanks, Keith. Now let's go to Tom Heck with sports.
And a very pleasant Wednesday afternoon to everyone. Let's talk about local high school football first. We're only about a week and a half away from the start of Burroughs High School football. They'll open up against Palmdale a week from Friday. Make your plans to come on out. The game starts at 7 o'clock. It'll also be on radio if you can't get out over on KLOA 1240 AM with a pregame show starting at 6:45. Now let's talk a little bit about IWB football. Now they have 5 teams that all ages get to participate. They play a 8-game schedule, and they have been highly successful. Mainly their big team in the IWB, their varsity team, the last couple years they've either only lost 1 game or been undefeated. And a lot of those kids now are over with head coach Todd Mather at the high school. And it's because of those teams that the freshman football team at Burroughs last year went undefeated in league, their best performance at the freshman level in years. And now a lot of those kids will be on the varsity football team this year playing for Coach Mather. So it'll be very interesting. I think Burroughs they don't have a huge amount of size, but they do have a lot of skill positions. They do have a lot of speed. I think it's going to be a real fun season this year, second year in the Mojave River League. Okay, let's talk about Major League Baseball. Let's get to that time. Baseball fans, this is your time of year. The Angels beat Chicago last night 5-3. Garrett Richards got the win. He's now 12-9 on the year. The Angels and Houston both won, so Houston still 2.5 games in front of the Angels. Texas with a golden opportunity to stay close to the pack, lost to Seattle, so now the Rangers are 4 games back of the Astros and 1.5 games back of the Angels. San Diego won last night. They beat Atlanta, and the Dodgers lost up at Oakland 5-4. Now that compiled with a San Francisco Giants win. The Giants beat St. Louis 2-0, and the Dodger lead now is only 2 games over the Giants. Same 2 teams tonight at Oakland, the Dodgers and the A's. Washington got a win. They beat Colorado. Boy, Washington 4.5 games behind the Mets. And I'll tell you what, no one from that league is going to make the wild card because of the fact the wild card teams are going to come from the Central, where Pittsburgh and Chicago are. Okay, Miami wins, Detroit wins. Detroit beats the Cubs. The Cubs 17 games over 500, the best record in years for Chicago. Boston beat Cleveland, and the Mets beat Baltimore. The Mets now 9 games over 500. Pittsburgh won last night. They beat Arizona. They came from way behind to do that. They're now, with that victory, 22 games over 500. Talk about a team that's just very good. In most other divisions, you would be the division leader, but not so in the Central because you got the Cardinals there. Toronto beat Philadelphia. Toronto also playing well. They're 12 games over 500. They have won 17 of their last 21 games. The Yankees have a 1-game lead over Toronto, and our producer out there has put up the standings. Joey's put them up for you. We're going to take a look at the American League today, the National League tomorrow. The Yankees 1 game over Toronto, 5 games over Baltimore in the East. Kansas City just running away with the Central, 26 games over 500, 13.5 games over the second-place Twins. And out west, as I mentioned, the Houston Astros over the Angels by 2.5 games. They are 10 games over 500, their best record in 10 years. Okay, the Red Sox have hired Dave Dombrowski. Dombrowski was let go by the Detroit Tigers about 2 months ago. He'll be their new president, and Dombrowski has had success wherever he's gone. The Bo Sox need some help. They're in last place right now in the American League East. All right, that's your sports for this Wednesday afternoon. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now watch this amazing video of a sculpture in Singapore Airport. Kinetic Rain is a moving sculpture that was installed in early 2012 in the departure check-in area of Terminal 1 at Singapore Airport. And then stay with us for Ridgecrest Talk coming up next.